Subscribe to Dental News channel and also press the bell icon for latest updates. Share and comment on the links. Thank you.
Hello and assalamu alaikum. My name is Dr. Saad, and you're tuned in to the Dental News interview sessions. With me today is a guest. He's a total inspiration when it comes to the topic of beyond dentistry. He is named as Dr. Fahad Rehman. Dr. Fahad Rehman did his basic dentistry from Bakai Dental College, and right now he is serving as the CEO of Rehman Transport Services, and he's also involved in a lot of other projects and his basic forte right now is robotics and artificial intelligence. So without further ado, I introduce to you Dr. Fahad Rehman. Dr. Fahad Rehman, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you, Dr. Saad, for a very good introduction. um, and yeah,
So, Dr. Fahad Rehman, just tell us why did you choose dentistry in the first place? And yeah.
Dentistry, basically, I was in science. I was at Karachi Grammar School doing my A levels, and I was in sciences, biology and chemistry. And from there, basically, what happened was that I was applying to US colleges and various colleges. I got into a couple, and my parents basically belonged to a business background. So we have a transport company, which my father has been running for the past 30 years, for which I am the CEO, as you rightly introduced. And he basically said that why don't you try towards going towards the medical field because you have those subjects. I already had admissions to the US colleges, and so I opted for that option of getting into the medical field due to my subject. And then analyzing both the medical field and the dental field, I saw that the dental field was a very niche market. Not many dentists were coming out at that time while I was going into college. I think, I mean, even if I just recently did a recap of my enrollment at CMDC, and it was at 4,450 some odd number. And I was like, that was my registration after I graduated. So it was a very niche market, and that is what I thought being from a business background that not many dentists out there, and I think the competition was little less, and it was a very good field, and that's how I incidentally sat for the Bakai Dental College test. I hadn't prepared for it, and a friend of mine, we both had just come out of grammar. We passed the test and we got interviewed. We passed that as well. And, it was just that I started going to dental school.
All right.
So it was a very
So, sir,
good,
being a doctor, yes, sir, you were saying something?
so it was basically, you can say that I kind of like went along with what my parents also said, along with the subjects I had. And incidentally, when I got into dental school, I had not thought about it much before, but getting into it was like a different experience in itself.
Right, sir. So, sir, from being a doctor, treating patients, doing root canals, doing extractions, and then all of a sudden you just go like beyond dentistry, like you just switch altogether. So, what was the thought process behind this career plan change?
Um, Initially, I was, and I'm very much dedicated to dentistry. I mean, if I was given a chance today, I would still go for, practicing dentistry, although I haven't done it for so many years now. Um, but the transition was very different. And I think in life, basically, you're given opportunities. And, I took on those other opportunities as well. I did work, at Liaquat National Hospital under Dr. Mughal, Dr. Jahaziv Mughal. I had the experience of doing maxillofacial surgery with him. It was a wonderful experience. I think I did not know what a face-off was till I was actually in that surgery room, and we actually had to take off the skin of that patient and fix the fractures underneath, and that was an experience in itself. Doing dentistry in itself was another very great experience. So surgery and dentistry, and then what I kind of realized was that if I wanted to go into maxillofacial surgery, I would probably need to do MBBS again. There was a program in London, and it was a 3-year program. But me belonging to the business family, that business side of mine just overtook that. And, because my father's company, the transport company, we had already been running buses for the city. So we introduced the first air-conditioned buses, coaches in Karachi, which were running on II Chandigarh Road. So we were pioneers in, air-conditioned coaches in Karachi. So that side, business side of me took over. And because whenever in a meeting I used to go, it was more about what have you done? I mean, have you done your MBA, or so I was looked on upon as, okay, so you're a dentist. So, which I took very personally, because I mean, I feel proud to be a dentist. It was one of those things when you say, okay, who you are, and I say proudly that I'm a dentist first. I'm a businessman later, but I'm a dentist first. So I went on to London and did my MBA over there. The transition was, you might say, it was an opportunity which I came across, and I just took it.
Right, sir. So thank you for the answer. And sir, as you said, your family was, involved in the transport business. So was it, a hard transition for you? Because somehow parents say that, you just shifted totally. Like, although you came to our business, but then again, you were doing dentistry, and then all of a sudden after your MBA, you decided, like, okay, I'm coming to the family business. So how did your family react to that?
Um, they I think it's with time. What happens is that my family, always supported my way of life in terms of the decisions which I was taking. I think they've always been supportive of that. So, and plus, thing is, having a very successful businessman like my dad, who is running the public transport for the city, there were a lot of expectations as well in terms of which I set for myself. So I kind of looked at myself as reaching that pinnacle which my dad had reached. And to achieve that, I saw that I could not just be a dentist. I had to be something more and go beyond dentistry. So that's when I kind of decided, I want an MBA. I want a business degree under my belt. And because until and unless you have that business acumen, I don't think so you can actually run a full-fledged company. So we had 400 employees. And when I came back from London after completing my MBA, so I mean, it wasn't like that I transitioned, because it was actually also the need of the hour, because my mother had gone through breast cancer, and my father was basically also needed support on, from Karachi, because all my siblings were abroad. So, and my youngest brother, he was actually traveling to Canada at the University of Toronto. So, he just got his admissions and he needed support then. And, it was with coming of age and stuff, and he needed support for the business, on the business side. That's when I kind of decided that, it's about time that I can probably kind of let go of dentistry and come on the business side, support my family, support my father on the business side. And luckily, I think the best, I would probably say the factor which was the most important was, as soon as I actually came in, we started working on the green CNG bus project in Karachi. the mayor of Karachi actually took out like 75 buses, and we won the contract for operations of that of those CNG buses, the green buses in Karachi. So I think it was, luck, me being in there in the right time, me having those degrees, me having that working experience in the transport. So I think after that, my family, we never looked back at those decisions which I had made. So I think they were always supportive.
Right, sir. Thank you for the answer, sir. So please tell us more about your current ventures. You're talking about the green buses, and you, mashallah, are the CEO of the transport company.
Rehman
So
Coach Service, yeah.
tell us more about your current ventures.
Okay. You learn from your experiences, and that is what I've learned over the years. So, I mean, moving from dentistry into complete public transport, that is what I've done. I have actually already, and we are currently right now in the middle of participating for the green and orange line. The BRT stands for Bus Rapid Transit System. So that is basically a concept which is for the buses actually having a separate bus lane in the city. The concept was developed so that we can actually have a transport system which is faster. Because, I mean, if you have a bus which is actually going to be part of the public transport in terms of on the road, without a separate busway, it will take longer for them because they will get stuck in traffic. So you actually have like a separate route where the buses are running. So now, because as I said, I was running the complete operations for the bus service for KMC, the green CNG buses. Then this concept of BRT was actually introduced in Pakistan. Luckily, we had the experience and we participated in the bidding process. So I have up till now participated in the yellow line for bus operations, and ittifaq se, mashallah se, we actually won the project. But because the construction partners were not there at that time, the project could not go ahead. Then we actually ventured into the transport project, the Green Line, which happened in 2018. So mashallah se, we actually won the bus operations for Green Line. But again, due to it being a government project, these things take time. That project did not go through. And currently, we are actually at the same project for the green and orange line. There was a long gap of approximately 4 or 5 years, during which I was working in the background. So I developed those relationships with a lot of international companies. Mashallah se, I was responsible to bring in foreign investment for the yellow line. We partnered up with Advanced Card Systems, one of a listed company on Hong Kong. So idea was that to bring in foreign investments into Pakistan so that we can actually, give more jobs, bring the technology into Pakistan, and then work from that technology in the transport department. Upheaval of transport, because for me, transport is, a family business. And so I'm passionate about it. And what I thought was that if we can actually get that knowledge into Pakistan, we can really, the upcoming youth, change the dynamics of the city in terms of how we actually run a professional system. So, yes, I am currently very much a part of those projects. I'm going to be participating for the Green Line bus operations, which are going to be coming up very soon. We are also partnering up to be the technological partner for the Green Line ticketing system, or the automated fare collection system, which we call as a short form as AFC, where we want to kind of like bring in the complete systems into Pakistan, and learn from those systems. And mashallah say, let's hope we can win that project.
Inshallah, sir. And thank you for the detailed information about your current ventures. So, sir, let's move towards a bit of dentistry now. So,
Yeah.
sir, do you miss practicing dentistry? Do you miss taking out teeth? Do you miss doing root canals?
Yes, I do completely miss dentistry. It is one of those things. I think dentistry was my base. Um, Whatever I am, I think, and however I deal with people, and you learn from what you are. And dentistry has really taught me a lot. I mean, I'll just explain to you in a very simple layman's term, in where basically we as medical professionals take an oath, um, and we take an oath to fix the problem of the patient which comes to us. Now, how we do that? By diagnosing, by giving the patients that correct medication, and obviously, checking up on them and seeing that they get well. And this is the general rule which I follow in my business today as well. What exactly is the problem? How can we solve it? Uh, you know, the diagnosis. What exactly is the problem? Let's diagnose the problem. How can we actually kind of solve the issue? What medication we're giving, and follow up with the patient. Follow up on exactly, have we done what the decisions which we made, financial, technical, otherwise, are they good? Are they actually working out for the better? So you see, I think the crux of what I do today is all benefiting from what I learned in my dental days. Anatomy, going through that anatomy lab and identifying, the facial nerve, spotting. I love dentistry. Root canals, not so much, but I think I was more towards orthodontics. I think the most inspiring Dr. Najib Siddiqui, he's not anymore with us anymore. But I think he was my ortho professor in final year, and he was one of those persons where I really kind of looked upon him, for guidance. We were young, and obviously we look for like that role model. And Dr. Najib really taught me a lot. I was part of the dental. I think we set up a table clinic for ortho at the sixth Pakistan Dental Conference. I think it was held. It was a long time ago, but yeah. So I mean, I've learned from all those experiences from dentistry. Missing it, I miss it till today. I think if given a chance, and if time constraints, there's too much on my plate right now. But yeah, if given the chance, I think my future goal is to come back into dentistry, and I've thought about establishing a dental hospital, maybe, or become part of the dental community in some way or the other. So still friends with a lot of my college days. Still meet with a couple of people. So yeah, I mean, I'm still connected to dentistry. I haven't really let go of it.
Right, sir. Thank you for the answer. So, sir, you talked about dentistry and its, the aspects of it. You said that you take the problems like you take a patient, like the diagnosing part of it, and then provide the medication, and you use that analogy. So, sir, do you think the patient interaction helped you in interacting with people in your field right now?
I think that was the biggest challenge, because in terms of dealing with patients and overcoming that challenge, which was taught to me in dentistry, I think that lesson, I still take it today, because I mean, I'll just tell you of a little incident which happened at Liaquat. One of these patients came in, and they basically, were being very rowdy. And I think in that situation, you need to really calm somebody down, make them sit down, make them understand that what you are actually doing is for their own good. maybe they have pre-notions about the form of treatment, because I do remember correctly that there were pre-notions of him thinking that the diagnosis and the treatment plan which we were giving him was incorrect. And I think that interaction and that learning experience of how to deal with people is comes in handy even today. I mean, at every meeting, everyone I meet, I think it's about, when we are taught about a patient walks in, you're actually looking at their demeanor, you're actually looking at the way they're walking, you're actually looking at the way they're sitting down, looking at those telltale signs. And I think that aspect of the medical profession, when you're, ready to take down that history, once the patient walks in through the door, you're looking for iron deficiencies, you're looking at their nails, you're looking at, if they have jaundice, if their eyes, if the skin coloration is yellow. All these things have taught me that in your interaction with the outside world, look for those telltale signs. And I think the dental profession has taught us so much. And I bring that to the table every day. I think it just goes hand in hand. So it has really taught me a lot. Yeah.
Right, sir. So let's just take the conversation towards beyond dentistry. So, sir, since you're mashallah doing really well, and as you said that dentistry was the base and it helped you, further process through your career. So, what do you think? What in your words is beyond dentistry? How would you explain beyond dentistry?
I think being a dentist is not, if you have aspirations, if you have ambition, and if you have passion, dentistry is not the end of the world. There are a lot of dentists coming out now, and the competition is also becoming stiff. For me, I think dentistry and beyond is what else can we do for the profession? I mean, it's about sitting in that chair. Yes, I do know that it's about sitting in that chair and, doing those root canals and fillings and, making those dentures and making those crowns and making people feel good about themselves. But there are a lot of technological advances which are happening at the back end. And I think beyond dentistry would be that follow your dreams, follow what you really enjoy doing, and take it from there, because automatically the path will become very clear. For me, it became really clear as I went along. I've taken whatever I learned from dentistry and have applied it to transport, public transport. I've applied it. I've given it those business applications which people think about. Okay, I mean, that's a very different way of looking at it. But that's the way I look at it. I compare everything from what I've learned and try to apply it. So I think, beyond dentistry for me would be just don't stick to being a dentist. If you feel that you can do something new, even in the field of dentistry, I think you just need to apply yourself, bring in those new technological advances, learn from the so many advances which are actually having to take place in the world. I mean, I have been part of artificial intelligence. I've been part of robotics. I was working in Dubai, and I was working for EY, in Karachi, and we were doing robotic process automation. So the world is basically coming towards automation. I know that I think I saw one of these videos where we basically had a camera look into the mouth, and I think it was replicating the model by taking those photographs, intraoral photographs, and the complete model was made outside, with the machine. I think it was made out of acrylic. So you see, there are many advances, and I think going beyond dentistry would be, for me, would be to take in all those advances as well. Maybe we can do it I'm not saying that, those are very expensive, I would technological advances, and that equipment, we can do it cheaply. I'll give you an example of how it's done. Um, I was running a I was the green bus service. We were told by the transport department that we should actually have GPS trackers in our buses. And I said, I don't need GPS trackers in our buses, because they actually said that we should do it on our own expense. And I actually told them, look, I don't need GPS trackers, because I can track my bus and how many passengers are there on my bus each and every second. How I did that was, there were 70 booths in the city, and 70 people used to just simply text me, just a simple text message to 4 people who were sitting there and tabulating those results that, okay, bus number so-and-so passed this stop, and text messages are real time in Pakistan. So a very cheap method of doing it, you need to think outside the box, was that we were just text messaging from each booth, and I had the real time data. So, there are ways of doing it cheaply. You just need to think outside the box.
Right, sir. So I'll take that point, that think outside the box. So you've certainly thought outside the box, and you've done something which is very rare when it comes to being a dentist and then going towards this part of the field. So, sir, let's move you back towards your younger years, and we'll talk about the experiences which you had when you were, in that interning phase, or you were just getting into the market, the transport market, or the artificial intelligence market. According to your portfolio, you worked at, mashallah, very big organizations like GSK, and then L'Oreal, and then, as you mentioned, EY. So, sir, in a crux, what do you think is the main prospective aspect from these companies? Like, why are they so, at a higher stature? What do you think are those things which we need to apply in Pakistan to make our companies move forward?
As far as technology goes, I think Pakistan is one of those most advanced countries. Um, and I think we just do not, acknowledge the fact that we have so much of talent. I mean, I was starting of this year, I was in Dubai at Arab Health, and I was invited for one of my apps which I was developing, called Second Opinion. And that idea was not a new idea. It's a very old idea, because a lot of people are doing it in telemedicine. And this was before COVID. So where basically I was trying to connect the doctors to, mainly it was a dentist to the patient. And now I was applying artificial intelligence. I was applying, so the idea was, if you as patient upload your dental radiograph or an OPG on our system, we would artificially read all the details of that OPG. We will tabulate the results. And obviously, artificial intelligence works with the numbers. So, once we have the bigger numbers, we can actually start predicting what that OPG is reading. And, moving on from that, we actually were using robotics. So basically, treatment planning in terms of how and what could be wrong if this tooth needs, for example, scaling, if this tooth needs a class 2 cavity, which is the best fit for that class 2 cavity, and automatically robotics comes into play. So this was sort of the back end of Second Opinion. I thought the need for Second Opinion was that we as a human can make mistakes. Nobody is perfect. I make mistakes every day today, but I acknowledge my mistakes. I feel proud that somebody has identified my mistake, and I take it that as a positive criticism on my work, rather than, trying to look back at, think, okay, hang on for a sec, why are you telling me I'm wrong? I take it as a positive criticism on my work. And so you see, once we come on to something like Second Opinion, even dentists and doctors can make mistakes. And so my idea was that let's have a panel of dentists sitting at the back who basically can first we get the use the technology. We get all that information to give us the best diagnosis. Because at the end of the day, what are we trying to do? We are trying to diagnose by hit and run, if it's this or if it's that. So let's get artificial intelligence, let's get the technology into play, and let's work alongside with technology, and then we can actually kind of diagnose better. So that was the idea behind Second Opinion, that, if you think that you are being misdiagnosed, you can kind of like come to us and go for another diagnosis. So big companies like GSK, like L'Oreal, and even EY, they basically just stick to what they have a core. So their core business is basically producing medicines, for example, GSK. L'Oreal, I actually had the pleasure of presenting to the global marketing manager for Armani in Paris while I was doing my MBA. So the most brilliant thing which he actually said at that presentation, and where he did this whole 1 week course with us, was that he said, not everything is perfect. You have to make everything look beautiful. And that is what he did. He was of fragrances. So we did a whole research in Paris on the fragrances and how Armani, the works like Armani and YSL and all these big brands actually target the market and look at the market, and what exactly do they give to the people. Looking at that, you kind of get an idea that their core business is producing fragrances, producing drugs, or be it EY, doing the audit. How do we excel in that? They were all in these over the years, they're bringing in technology. For example, at EY, they were completely changing it was called the Audit Transformation Program, where we were basically completely changing how audit is actually being done today. And hopefully it is going to come very soon in Pakistan as well, where the audit is actually completely done under robotics. So once you're auditing a company, you're basically not just looking at, looking through samples of invoices and all that, but you're actually doing a complete 100% transaction, looking at the 100% transactions of a company. So, at EY also, I learned that their core business was audit, but they were bringing in technology to correspond that core business. And I think you should stick to that core business. So for me, my core business has been transportation, running a transport company. And today what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring in technology along with any other, along with technology, how we can actually take this transport business further. So I think that is the crux of it all. Behind all these companies, they have a core business. You stick to their core business, and then they think of other ways, think beyond, outside the box of how to make that business better.
Right, sir. Thank you for a detailed answer on that particular question. And so, sir, you talked about dentistry and robotics, the artificial intelligence. You talked about the machine, which you gave an example of. We've seen CAD cams. We've seen now Invisalign coming into action in Pakistan, but it's still not in that, in that way that everybody has access to it. Why do you think is that so? And do you plan on doing something for the artificial intelligence part of dentistry in Pakistan in the future?
I would love to actually. For example, you just mentioned Invisalign. Now it's a registered trademark company, okay, and the products are very expensive. Um, why and how is basically, I think we have the brains and we have the talent in Pakistan to create something which is as big as Invisalign. It is just about dedication. It is about, we have the brain power. That is not lacking. We have the technology. that is nowhere lacking. I mean, I think our IT guys and IT consultants, I mean, I have been working out of Dubai. We actually opened up a back office over here because we wanted to utilize on the talent, technology talent, which is present in Pakistan. I mean, the world recognizes the fact that Pakistan has a very big pool of talented individuals in technology. So I think to open a company where we can actually counter the same product as Invisalign, I think we can easily do it and bring our own minds to it and bring our own kind of, I think, ideas of improvement to that product. And we can just register that product as our own product, made in Pakistan. I think we can do it. It's just about the will. If I think probably a team of dentists sat down together today and they said, okay, let's create a product. I think we very much can do it. It's just about that willpower of actually, taking that first step. Who wants to do it? And then, inshallah, hopefully, I probably would go get into it, maybe, and create a product, something on similar lines. I have been looked at a couple of products where basically, as I was saying, and I was intrigued by that, having that camera and developing something where we can actually create a complete impression of the mouth outside, by just taking the photograph. Although it's been a done practice, but all those machines are from abroad. Why cannot we manufacture them ourselves? And it's a changing world. We're going online. It's after COVID, everything has changed. And I think we as individuals, as Pakistanis, we should feel proud that we have that talent. It's just that we need to use it. So yes, it can be done. It's just that somebody needs to get up there and just say, okay, I'm doing it and I need help. And I think a lot of people would come on to, be helpful in that cause. So yeah, I do feel that we can do wonders.
Right, sir. So, as you said that the youth of our generation should have a futuristic approach towards this particular topic beyond dentistry. So, sir, at the end of the interview, I would like to, counsel our younger generation, or if you have a message for the younger generation.
I think the best and foremost is be very ambitious. Um, just go beyond dentistry. If you feel that dentistry, some people do dentistry out of passion. I'm very passionate about dentistry, and I'm also a very ambitious person. I know I've been kept outside dentistry, but I know I will come back into dentistry, be it sometime in the future, maybe. And I will kind of come back to that profession which I started off from. So for the youth, I would probably say be very ambitious is one, and be passionate about what you do. Enjoy what you do every day. I mean, unless you actually enjoy what you're doing, you will get bored of it, and then you will start losing interest in what you're doing. And I think that's where we kind of lose it. Until and unless you're enjoying every day of what you're doing, uh, you know, and you have to be ambitious again. So these two things correlate with each other, that ambition and passion. I think those are the two things which we need to really look for. I mean, if you're passionate about something, go for it. I would say don't even look back. The world has its own way of changing ways and, making things work for you. You just have to wait it out, but be passionate about it and be ambitious. Don't just give up. I think just go out there, conquer the world. It's the world to be conquered. I mean, there's a lot of conquerors out there who have conquered the world, and I think you can be one of them. So yeah, I mean, I think those are the two or three things which I would probably ask the youth to actually just take on.
Right, sir. Thank you so much for your time, and it was a
Thank
pleasure
you, Dr.
hosting
Saad.
you. And it was a pleasure hosting you, and we wish you all the best. I wish you all the best from my side and from Dental News as well in your future endeavors. And inshallah, hopefully, we will see you doing something for dentistry in the future. So again, thank you so much
Inshallah.
for your time.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saad. Thank you.
All right. So
I
guys,
would really like to thank Dental News and thank you, Dr. Saad, for conducting this interview and the whole team of Dental News. And inshallah, yes, I look forward to actually bringing something for dentistry so that you guys can actually print that as well.
inshallah, sir, we would love to do that, and it would be a complete honor. Thank you so much again for your time, sir.
Thank you.
All right, so this was Dr. Fahad Rehman, and if you want to look at an inspiration when we come to beyond dentistry, when we talk about beyond dentistry, he's the guy to look forward to. And Dr. Fahad Rehman has done brilliant work, and I hope that you guys will see this interview and take this as an inspiration. So at the end, I would like to say that if you want to know about more of our interviews, you should subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our Facebook page. And we have a Twitter handle as well and our Instagram page as well. All of the details are present on our website, which is dentalnewspakistan.com. And so I would like to take my leave now. And thank you again, Dr. Fahad Rehman, for your time. And inshallah, we shall hope to do an interview again soon. All right. Thank you so much.
Allah.